Hello, my name is Luis Rosario, and I am doing this video in response to a question that Ms. Rosalyn had for me. We met in the cruise on a cruise to Cuba this recent past, I don't know, maybe month, and we ran into each other. She was coming down from her room, and so was I, and we were in the stairs going out to the pool. And we ran into each other and we just talked, and then I found out she was writing a book about dogs and roses, and then she shared her story about her dog, and it just so happened that I too had a story about my dog. Her name is Elsie, and let me see, as you can see, she's always by my side. She never leaves. She is my companion. She is like a daughter to me. She's more than just a dog. And it didn't start out that way. About 2 years ago, I just had gotten out of the military, and my wife and I were recently married. And I didn't realize that after 12 years on active duty in the Marine Corps, that I would have such a hard time transitioning out of the military into civilian life. So my wife was still in active duty. We met in the military. She was still doing her service to the military, and so she would go to work anywhere between 4:30 in the morning to like about 7 or 8 o'clock at night, depending on the day. Sometimes she worked overnight. That's just the nature of the beast in the military. So I was alone a lot of the hours of the day, and I didn't, I was having a hard time, just figuring out my identity. Who am I now that I'm not wearing this uniform, after 12 years. I felt like, it's more than just a uniform. It's not just a job, it's something you do, and it's your life, and you put your whole life into the military. And so now who am I? And so I was going through to school and still just having a hard time. And I got medically retired mostly from TBI and PTSD symptoms. And so like one day when my wife went to work, I couldn't fall us back to sleep after she left. And I went outside and I let the dog out, my dog out, Elsie, in the front yard so she can do her potty business. And as I was sitting on the stoop in front of the house, I just began to cry. I was having an anxiety attack because I was struggling, and I just didn't know if I was gonna adjust well to civilian life. And so she came up underneath my hands as I sat with my elbows just kind of like I'm now. And she put her head between my hands, and I just kept pushing her away, but she kept pushing with her nose. And and then I paused for a minute and I started petting her. And as I started crying, she came in through my arms into my face and started licking my chin. I didn't have a beard then, but she started licking my chin, and then she started licking like my tears. And so I hugged her, and it was like I really felt like she understood what I was going through and she wasn't judging me. And at the time, my wife had just gotten back from Europe. She was on a trip for 7 months, and she was having adjustment issues too, so I didn't want to put a lot on her plate. So then, every time I felt like that, Elsie would come in and basically tell me it would be all right, I love you, and I would take her with me. I took her with me to the store because she was a little tiny puppy when I first got her. So Elsie herself, we rescued her from a company, a nonprofit organization. I don't remember the name. My wife does, but anyway, we rescued her, and at first I didn't really want a dog because dogs poop, eat, and sleep. That's how I felt, and I keep a very clean living space, and I did not want dogs dirty in my house. But she potty trained in like 3 days, and little did I know, Elsie became a blessing in disguise. I did not want a dog. I did not, want to deal with holes in the backyards and things like that, but she was a very blessing. She was abandoned. Her whole litter was abandoned by the owners, and they were found, I believe, in a shelter that they were about to be euthanized. And so this organization basically rescues them to give them another chance. And so, we went out to see her, and the first time that I saw her, she didn't run up to anybody but me, which was weird, because my wife was the one that, wanted her, and I wasn't really for the whole dog thing. But she has been a blessing in disguise. And I tell you what, dogs, for veterans are, more therapeutical than you would think. I mean, I think a lot of it would be just meeting the dog first and then just hanging out with the dog maybe for an hour or so. Making multiple visits if you're not for sure, you could tell the people. And I'm a very firm believer that adopting animals is better because it gives you that sense that, these dogs weren't wanted, and these dogs were abandoned, and so maybe you can be a life changer. And little did you know, that animal can change your life like it did mine. I'm currently pursuing a career in social work to become a substance abuse therapist in order to help other veterans that struggle with a lot of the issues that I still do, but I just happen to manage them in a healthy way. And when things get unhealthy, there's certain things that you can do. And let me tell you, when things got unhealthy for me, Elsie was there for me. She isn't she the sweetest looking girl? It's your baby girl. And she has been a blessing in my life, and so we feel real happy. So we currently have two dogs. The other dog that we rescued from the same organization, his name is Hercules. He's not much of a Hercules to me, and he's actually more attached to Mama than he is to Daddy. He spends a lot of time, as you can see, staring at the window out in the backyard because he's ready to go out and chase squirrels. And so, I mean, if I have anything to say to any other military service members that are thinking about, ways to deal with, some of the circumstances and issues, and sometimes it's being, you're having a hard time finding someone to understand, look into getting a pet. Because sometimes, like my dog Elsie, like I said, I only got her because, when you're married, you make your wife happy. And we just moved into this house, and we want to wait to have kids because we want to finish our education first. But she really wanted to have a pet and a form of a kid without all the other stuff that comes along. So we got a dog. And so after getting this dog, I mean, like I said, it was for her. Little did I know, she ended up being my best friend and my companion. And no matter what I do, no matter what I'm going through, as you can see, I walked around the other house, she's still there. And so I hope that this helps you, and you have a wonderful day.